Here's how the weekend can ruin all your progress. So I want you to imagine this. You're working hard during the week, maintaining a calorie deficit, which means you're eating less calories than you burn on a daily basis from Monday through Thursday, right? You're watching what you eat, you're staying nice and active, getting your steps in, and making progress towards your fitness goals, right? Everything is going well. However, when the weekend hits, you loosen up a bit, indulge in more calories than you burn. What the heck just happened? Ignore that. Um, you loosen up a bit, indulge in more calories than you burn on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It may seem harmless at first glance, but it can significantly impact your overall progress, and here's why. So before we dive into why this could ruin your progress, I want you guys to look at this graph because I'm going to explain this to you, but I want you guys to look at this visually. So again here, your maintenance calories is 2,200 calories, right? That's just simply the amount of calories you need to maintain your weight. Monday through Thursday, you're in a 500 calorie deficit, which if you do that for a consistent week, that will put you in a 3,500 calorie deficit for the entire week, which should on paper make you lose 1 pound, right? Because 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories, and if you're in a 3,500 calorie deficit for the week, you should be able to lose 1 pound, right? But then on Friday, you're literally eating double than you should have, 3,400 calories. Saturday, you're eating even more than that, 3,700 calories. And then Sunday, you're eating slightly more, 2,500 calories, right? So you're in the green here, and now you're in the red zone. And now the weekly average, if you add everything together, instead of being in a deficit, instead of being at maintenance, now you're actually in a slight surplus, and you actually gained 0.3 pounds. Which is not really fun, right? Because you put in all the effort at the beginning of the week, but then on the weekend, you go out with the boys, with the girls, you party, let loose a bit. And if we continuously keep doing that and you're kind of frustrated with like not seeing the results that you're looking for despite putting in the work, putting in the efforts, prepping your meals, all this stuff, this is probably why, right? So let's break it down a bit. Calories in versus calories out, right? Weight management is fundamentally all about the balance between the calories you consume, calories in, and the calories you burn, calories out, right? Now, even if you are in a deficit during the week, consuming excess calories over the weekend, especially a lot more, can tip the scale towards a surplus, hindering your progress, right? And now consistency really is the key here in order to see long-term and sustainable progress. While it's okay to enjoy yourself on occasion, consistently overeating, especially on the weekends, can definitely disrupt the consistency you've built during the week. And so what are we going to do about this, right? So instead of like focusing on like the day-to-day average or the day-to-day goals, focus more on like the weekly average. So tracking your weekly average calorie intake gives you a more comprehensive picture of your progress compared to just focusing on the daily averages, right? So aiming for a weekly calorie deficit allows for more flexibility in your day-to-day intake while ensuring that you're consistently moving forward towards your goals over the long term. And so if you were to like play this out, right, let's say you know that on the weekends you like to let loose and that is not something that you want to maybe compensate for, like you really prioritize the weekends and you really prioritize eating pizza on the weekends, like hey, like fitness, I'm all about like making sure that it enhances your lifestyle and it doesn't take over your lifestyle. Sure, sometimes you may have to make a couple sacrifices, but if this is one of the things that you don't want to sacrifice, you may have to sacrifice some other things on the back end. So for example, if let's say Saturday is your big cheat meal and that's when you really want to just like eat a lot more food. Okay, awesome. Well, what you may have to do now is that the days leading up to that, and maybe some of the days afterwards, you may have to reduce your calories slightly just to make up for that fluctuation in calories, right? And so if you simply wanted to maintain your body weight, right? Let's say you're really happy with your physique and you wanted to maintain your body weight, it'd be a good idea to be at a slight deficit during the week, right? Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, you can be in a slight surplus. And then the weekly average will pretty much put you at maintenance, right? So that is one thing that you can do to still eat out, eat your favorite foods, whatever, without having to like lost any of your progress. So, and also guys, like just know that our bodies naturally do experience fluctuations in weights due to factors like water retention, glycogen levels, and food volume. So again, keep in mind, in order to gain 1 pound of fat, you'd have to eat 3,500 calories on top of your maintenance. Not just 3,500 calories, but 3,500 calories on top of your maintenance. So let's say your maintenance calories is 2,500 calories just to maintain your body weight. You'd have to eat in one single day 6,000 calories just to gain 1 pound of fat. And that's just 1 pound of fat, right? And I assume most people, just know that 6,000 calories is a lot of food. I do know people that can do it in one sitting, but you'd really have to try. Like you really, really would have to try, right? And again, that's just 1 pound of fat, which you can really easily lose in a week if you just go back in a 500 calorie deficit. So all the weight that you do gain when you eat slightly more calories than you burn, right? Especially when you eat out and stuff, is most likely just water weight, right? Like the added sodium in the meals makes you hold on or retain more water weight. The added stress levels increases your cortisol levels, which also makes you hold on to more water weight. The food volume, so simply eating different foods and more food, especially if it's later on at night, and then you weigh yourself the really next morning, you may wake up a bit more bloated, and the food maybe hasn't like fully digested yet, and you hop on the scale and you're like a lot heavier than you were. All that is just water weight. So don't stress about that. Don't worry too much about that. And it's quite ironic because the added stress that you now put on yourself because you gained some weight is actually hindering you from kind of getting back on track again. Because again, like we mentioned, the added stress, cortisol, which is a catabolic hormone in your body, makes you hold on to more water weight. So the more you can kind of reduce your stress levels despite eating out can actually do wonders for you. So don't stress about it too much and simply just kind of get back on track again, right? So a weekend of overeating, like I mentioned, can lead to temporary weight gain, which can also honestly kind of demotivate you if you only focus on the daily changes, right? So with that said though, guys, like I want you guys to look at like the bigger picture and consider your weekly average, which can really help you just see beyond the day-to-day fluctuations, because daily fluctuations happen. Even if you are on track, let's say you're eating the same amount of calories every single day, maybe slightly different food at slightly different times, day-to-day fluctuations can still happen. Whether you ate a food right before bed, maybe you drank too much water, maybe you had too little water, maybe you weighed yourself a bit earlier in the day, or maybe a bit lighter or a bit later in the day. Like all these things happen. So instead of being so just like kind of like neurotic with like the daily fluctuations, focus more on the weekly and monthly fluctuations, right? Because on average, if your goal is weight loss, daily fluctuations happen. It could be up, down, up, down, up, down. That's like day to day. But week to week and month to month, you should see a pretty like nice little trend going downwards. So yeah, really make sure that you don't focus on the day to day as much, but really focus on like the weekly, monthly, and yearly averages. So when you do eat out, like it's really important just to practice moderation and making conscious decisions about what you eat, which can also prevent excessive calorie intake without feeling deprived necessarily. So while it's tempting to let loose on the weekends, being mindful of your calorie intake and aiming for consistency throughout the week is crucial for maintaining your fitness goals. So tracking your weekly average allows for flexibility while ensuring that you're making progress over time. Remember, guys, it's not about what you do occasionally. It is what you do consistently over a long period of time that shapes your results. So hopefully you guys got something out of this quick little presentation. Again, take a screenshot of this graph just to give you more of a visual understanding of like how important it is to keep track of, yes, the day to day, but then also do weekly average and making sure that we don't make this mistake. If you're in a situation right now where, okay, I'm on track every single day, but then on the weekend I kind of let loose a bit and I'm frustrated with the results, this is probably why. So keep this in mind, and yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Peace.